This is G-Dro, I ain't gonna front. This is for entertainment purposes only, you feel me? We're reacting more crazy ass things now. Thank you people out there. I haven't said this last video, but thank you people out there for showing some love. Some sort of love, you know what I'm saying? Give me a little bit of viewership, you know what I mean? I got 1 subscriber, and I appreciate that 1 subscriber, you know what I mean? And thank you for the comments, I ain't gonna front, you know what I'm saying? Showing mad love. All I gotta tell you, Joe, keep showing love. Tell a friend, tell another friend. We reacted to most crazy ass things. Well, not top, but it's just 10 most heated moments on Drink Champs. Now, shout out to Drink Champs, Noriega. That is a good show. That's a funny ass show, you know what I'm saying? Let's get into this shit. I don't know what the fuck else to say. It's crazy how heated moments. And Tony Yayo.
What you want to say?
In the beginning, it's gonna be crazy.
Y'all agree? Y'all are crazy.
Daddy, I like
He said y'all are crazy.
Scraping. I like that.
You know, I'll be practicing.
Yeah, there you go. Got your note.
Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna go over with that one.
Make it
that
wish.
one.
Don't go without your birthday every.
Huh?
Why won't you party with me for your birthday, man?
We partied for my birthday before. You came to my party.
No, but me and you ain't never really party. You know what I'm saying? Eyes, brother. Eyes.
Huh? Eminem.
He said,
Everybody down with Eminem. And my thing is this.
Diddy's go off the hook.
It's over hip hop. Like hip hop is who we are. He can't come in and invade hip hop in Rosenberg and make sure you got nothing against Eminem that can rap. But I care about us more. I don't want to go through. I don't want to talk about it no more. I don't want. For 22 years, every time I do an interview, they ask me about Eminem. My daughter came into the industry figuring that, hey, I gotta be cool with Eminem because everybody's against my dad. You think this is cool? No, man.
Drink Champs is easily one of the biggest music podcasts out right now. With non-stop drinks and a laid-back vibe, both the guests and hosts get comfortable. And when that happens, the unfiltered truth starts flying. That's where you get some of the craziest and most heated moments ever. From Tony Yayo and Nor going back and forth about Biggie and Ice Cube.
Ice Cube got better balls than that.
Ice Cube got
You
better
lost
bars,
your
bro.
mind, bro.
Biggie didn't have
Your
time to
your
expand.
mind, bro.
To Fabulous hilariously dodging Diddy's invite to those infamous parties.
Why won't you party with me for your birthday, man?
We partied for my birthday before. You came to my party.
No, but me and you ain't never really party. You know what I'm saying? Eyes, brother. Eyes.
And even Benzino throwing shots at Eminem only to break down in tears later.
Eminem. Everybody down with Eminem. And my thing is this, bro. It's over hip hop. Like hip hop is who we are. He can't come in and invade hip hop in Rosenberg and make
front. That shit was crazy. Hey yo, I seen that interview with Benzino. That was a funny one. That was a classic one, but I ain't gonna front. This is turning out crazy. The most heated moments. I don't know how the Diddy one is heated. That just looked like a freak off moment. A freaky Ziggy moment. A pause moment, but you talk about you going to party. But let's get back into this shit because this shit is coming
trillions
out
of dollars. None against
insane.
Eminem.
How
that
do
can
people
rap,
come up with these
but I
niches?
care about us more.
I wish I could come up with these type of niches.
Talk
You know
about
what
it
I'm
no
saying?
more.
I look at all this shit. But
For 22
the way
years,
they
every time I
make
do an
it
interview,
is
they ask
crazy.
me
I
about
ain't gonna front.
Eminem.
It's always wild, so let's dive in deeper. First up, we've got Tony Yayo, and you gotta appreciate a classic
This
old
gotta
school
be
hip-hop debate, especially
AI.
when it spirals completely out of control. Tony and DJ EFN got into it over their favorite rappers, and Tony took this one personally. So here's how it went down. EFN says his favorite rapper is Ice Cube, and Tony reacts like he just heard the most outrageous thing ever. In Tony's world, Biggie is the undisputed GOAT. No arguments, no questions asked.
Big Ice Cube is better than Biggie with storytelling.
As a totality, yes.
You lost your.
I lost it.
From what?
Are you serious?
Storytelling?
Are you serious? NWA?
Biggie?
Death certificate? America's
You're
Most
bugging.
Wanted?
You're bugging.
Kill at will?
No.
Are you serious?
Tony wasn't about to let EFN's take slide. He starts dropping Biggie bars right there on the
Drink
spot,
Champs
like
can be
he's
the
trying
fight
to jog
champs. They
EFN's
drink too
memory
much
or
on that
something.
show.
You could tell Tony was sitting there thinking, how could anyone rank Ice Cube above Biggie?
The suitcase up in the central. Go to the room. Feel the frameless. Leave all of the niggas stainless. You saying Ice Cube got better balls than that?
Ice Cube got
You
better
lost
bars,
your
bro.
mind, bro.
Big
And honestly,
You lost your mind,
Biggie had
bro.
that iconic storytelling flow, raw lyrics, and unmatched presence. To Tony, comparing Ice Cube to Biggie was like comparing apples to oranges. But EFN wasn't backing down either. He stood his ground, arguing that Ice Cube was underrated and deserved way more credit than he gets. What started as a laid-back discussion turned into a heated battle of opinions. Both guys were going at it like heavyweight champs in the middle of the ring.
I ain't gonna
throwing
front,
down
though.
their
I'm
best
on Yayo's
points.
side.
And then, as the
I'm
drink
on Yayo's
started
side, I ain't
flowing
gonna
more,
front.
Tony switched gears from
Biggie
debate
got
mode
the
to full-on
lyrics.
rap mode. The man
He got
straight
the
up
lyrics.
started spitting bars
You know what I
like
mean?
his life depended on
I ain't
it.
gonna say Ice
Determined
Cube
to
don't,
prove EFN wrong.
but Biggie-
The vibe was chaotic, passionate,
I
and
got
so very
Biggie on that
hip-hop.
one. I ain't
That's
gonna
what
front.
happens when two diehard fans are defending their favorites. There's no middle ground, only fiery passion. By the end, the tension was so thick you could probably cut it with a knife. But that's what makes Drink Champs so legendary. Raw energy, unfiltered opinions, and unforgettable moments. Now, was that as wild as the infamous Kanye West interview? Not even close.
I seen that one
Sober
too.
Kanye
That was
is
another
already
classic.
A walking controversy,
I ain't
so
gonna front.
imagine him on Drink
Another
Champs
crazy
with
one.
drinks flowing.
I ain't calling
it
him
was a
crazy, but the
recipe for
interview was
absolute
crazy, you feel me?
madness,
That shit-
and everyone watching knew it was about to go left. Back in 2022, Kanye made an appearance on the show, and he didn't waste any time jumping straight into controversial territory. Right off the bat, he went on a full-blown rant about Jewish people. It all started when Nor asked him about his issues with Adidas.
Yo.
Instead of keeping it about the brand, Kanye pivoted hard, claiming that the Jewish community was exploiting black people. According to him, they'd been targeting him for years, trying to control the narrative and tarnish his image in the media.
Like Jewish people have owned the black voice, whether it's through us wearing a Ralph Lauren shirt or it's all of us being signed to a record label. Community, especially in the music industry, they'll take, in the entertainment period, they'll take one of us, the brightest of us, right, that can really feed a whole village, and they'll take us and milk us till we die.
Kanye didn't stop there.
Dang.
He alleged that his Jewish trainer was paid $40
I ain't see that
million
one, that
to
interview.
spread lies
I ain't see
about
that
him
full
to the
interview.
press. Then he
I
veered
will read
into
the whole
personal
interview, but that's just
territory,
way too long.
dragging
I ain't
his
gonna front.
ex-wife Kim
I'll have to cut that-
Kardashian
cut
into the
pieces
mix.
off.
He accused the Jewish community of influencing her and claimed it was negatively affecting his kids. At this point, the vibe of the show went from fun and vibrant to straight up uncomfortable.
Jewish trainer Harley Pasternak, who's Lizzo's trainer, put it out when I went to the hospital, put it in the press. I got a bunch of friends that went to the hospital, it didn't go to the press. Get a dude that's supposed to be my friend that's been taping me the whole time and buy this for $30 million. Is Jewish Zionists that's about that life, that's telling this Christian woman that has 4 black children to put that out as a message in the media.
But Kanye wasn't done. He started calling out other rappers, like Meek Mill and Puff Daddy, accusing them of working with the feds.
As far as Meek Mills, Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these all you fake you. Hold on.
Okay.
All you you. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't shoot nobody anyway, and the reason why you got to talk is because you did a deal, you fed.
Nor tried his best to steer the conversation
Oh,
in a different
shit.
direction, at one point even praising Kanye for being the richest black man in American history. But Kanye kept circling back to his rants. Things took an even darker turn when Kanye started talking about feeling S-sidal, essentially pleading for someone to pull up on him and off him. It was a shocking and unsettling moment that left everyone, including NORE, unsure how to respond.
I want y'all to run up on me.
No.
I want y'all to come me. I want you to smack me. I want you to do all the you rap.
And just when you thought Kanye couldn't get more controversial, he went on to praise Candace Owens for her documentary about George Floyd's death. He even claimed that Floyd didn't die because of the police officer kneeling on him, but because of fentanyl.
I watched the George Floyd documentary that Candace Owens put up. One of the things that his 2 roommates said was, they want a tall guy like me. And the day when he died, he said a prayer for, 8 minutes. He said a prayer for 8 minutes. They hit him with the fentanyl.
Shockingly, when the Kanye West episode aired, the backlash wasn't just aimed at Kanye. NORE caught a huge wave of criticism for allowing Kanye's comments to go unchecked. The backlash got so intense that Nor had to do a full-on media tour to apologize. He said in one interview, "As a black man, I feel like I failed. As a journalist, the controversial interview was considered a success because as a journalist, you're really not supposed to have an opinion. You're supposed to let people talk. And my biggest critique on Drink Champs is, Nor, you always cut people off." This is the one time I didn't cut people off and everyone's mad. In response to the uproar, Noor released an extended clip from the interview where he tried to hold Kanye accountable for some of his more outrageous comments, especially the ones about the White Lives Matter shirt and George Floyd's death.
But when you wear the White Lives Matter shirt, it kind of takes away from everything from black people. George Floyd, and you said, George Floyd, and you said, I could prove that somebody wasn't on his neck. We don't even care about that.
In the clip, Noor attempts to explain to Kanye why saying those things, particularly at a time when black people were being off daily, was not just insensitive, but outright wrong. He tried to make Kanye see that his timing couldn't have been worse. But as you might expect, Kanye wasn't exactly receptive. Instead of engaging with what Noor was saying, Kanye veered off into random tangents, talking about Meek Mill, tight jeans, and pretty much anything else that came to mind. It got so bad that Noor had to bring the conversation back to Kanye's kids, trying to emphasize how his antics and public statements could negatively affect them in the long run. Unfortunately, Kanye seemed too wrapped up in his own ideas of political correctness to really hear him out. By the end of the interview, the whole thing had spiraled into even weirder territory, leaving viewers with a mix of frustration and disbelief. Now, while that Kanye episode is infamous, let's switch gears to a much earlier and wildly different Drink Champs guest, DMX. The energy DMX brought to his interview was electric from the second he walked in. This was back in the earlier days of Drink Champs when the show wasn't as polished or high profile.
That was a great interview. That was a great one, I ain't gonna front.
He came in raw and unfiltered, as only he could.
I fuck with this kid. I fuck with my man right here.
Thank you.
N-O-R-E. N-O-R-E.
Thank you.
Now we on the run in.
That's right.
And I was able to better understand.
From the jump, you could tell he was in high spirits. He had this larger-than-life presence that lit up the room. But as the drinks started flowing, things shifted. Just a little. That's when the real DMX came out, the one who could go from cracking jokes to dropping deep, emotional truths in the blink of an eye. The man was known for his unpredictability, and this episode delivered on that front. Things really went left when DMX started slurring his words and ranting about Def Jam and the people who ran it. Classic X. He could take a simple question and somehow turn it into a whole conspiracy theory, throwing out names and pointing fingers. But that was DMX for you. He wasn't afraid to let loose and call people out, no matter the setting.
This is when he knew he would sign me.
Okay.
My jaw was wide shut. And the locks, the guy signed first to Puff. And D from Rough Riders, Darren, he bought me.
It wasn't all rants, though. DMX had some really heartfelt moments during the interview that reminded everyone why they loved him so much. At one point, he talked about how his ultimate goal wasn't fame or money, but simply to influence one person in a positive way. That line hit hard for a lot of fans. It was raw, genuine, and exactly the kind of thing that made DMX so relatable despite all his larger-than-life antics.
My purpose, if I could save one person, if I influence one person, I've done something wonderful with my life.
You influence millions of people, in case you ain't know.
Facts. He influenced millions of people.
It wouldn't be a DMX appearance without a little chaos. One particularly cringeworthy moment came when Noor decided to rap over DMX's beatboxing. It was rough, to say the least. Imagine someone trying to hop on a moving train but missing completely. That's what it felt like. You could practically see the side-eye DMX was giving him, like, really, bro? But honestly, that awkward moment just added to the charm of the episode.
I ain't in time. Listen, we gonna drink, we gonna mind. I don't know how my all up the line. It's okay. We don't give a fuck.
See, Drink Champs has never been about perfection. The show thrives on being unpredictable, raw, and real, and DMX brought all of that in spades. Next up is Puff Daddy. And if there's one thing you can always count on with Drink Champs, it's the unexpected.
The Diddler.
But nobody was ready for Puff Daddy's wild antics during his surprise appearance. The episode started pretty normal. Jadakiss and Fabulous were on to promote their album, Freddie vs. Jason, and everything was running smoothly. Then out of nowhere, Puff made his grand entrance, and the whole vibe in the room did a complete 180. At first, Puff's energy seemed harmless enough. In true celebrity fashion, he kicked things off by singing Happy Birthday to Fabulous, which was funny. But it didn't stop there. Puff kept pouring shots, lighting blunts, and hyping everybody up like it was a party only he could throw. The energy was wild, but as the night went on, things started getting weird. Puff got a little too friendly, especially with Fabulous, making everyone visibly uncomfortable. He kept calling Fab Daddy over and over, and it was just straight up awkward.
Daddy, I like when you scrambling and scraping. I like that.
I'll be practicing. I got
there you go. Got your notes.
Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna go over with that one.
Make it
that
work.
one.
I heard they said that was a New York
At one
slang.
point,
Calling
Puff
people
even
that,
asked Fab
but
why
nah,
he never
for him
partied
that
with
wasn't no
him.
slang. He was
Fab
dead
looked
serious
like he was
saying
stuck
that
between
shit.
laughing it off and calling it a night. I
Yo.
mean, how many times can you call someone daddy before it stops being funny and starts feeling off? And Jadakiss? He was awkwardly staring
he
off
said
into
that way
space like he
too
was
many
mentally
once.
anywhere but there.
Huh? Why won't you party with me for your birthday, man?
We partied for my birthday before. You came to my party.
No, but me and you ain't never really party, you know what I'm saying? Eyes, brother. Eyes.
But Puff wasn't done. He kept going, turning up the cringe factor with some bizarre questions that left the room in stunned silence. It's like he was fishing for some deep, emotional confession from Fab, but all he got was secondhand embarrassment. At one point, Puff even went on a tangent about partying in Vegas, shading anyone who'd rather go to church than live it up in the club.
Fab walked in. Don't do that.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's why I said let me pick it up.
was talking to
That's why I said I gotta pick it up from right there. This why I gotta pick it up from right there.
Look at this nigga.
By then, the energy in the room was completely off. Even Noor, who's usually all about keeping the vibes light and fun, was struggling to reel it back in. Eventually, Puff announced he was leaving, but of course his exit had to be just as bizarre as his entrance. He wrapped things up with another over-the-top zesty rant, leaving everyone scratching their heads and probably sighing with relief. Puff definitely brought the chaos, but little did they know, things were about to get even more heated when Lamar Odom took the hot seat. Now Lamar's appearance on Drink Champs was a whole different kind of uncomfortable.
I don't
From
know
the
how that
start,
was a
you
heated
could tell
moment.
he
That was a
wasn't
zesty
really feeling
moment.
it. And honestly,
The thing with
can you
Diddy,
blame
that
the guy?
wasn't a heated
Lamar's
moment.
been through
That
hell
was
and
just
back.
shit was
A
zesty
near-death experience,
ass
addiction
moment. They showed you on
struggles, a very
camera
public
who people
divorce,
really
and all
are.
the media drama that
That
came
dude
with it. You don't just bounce back from all that like it's nothing.
See, like that thing with the Diddy at the Drink Champs unexpected thing, that like if all right, they say Diddy party is crazy, right? They were just chilling. He brought the party to them. I ain't gonna front. So him himself, Diddy is a party himself. I ain't gonna front. If you give this dude way too many blunts, like he said, too many drinks, he's gonna turn it into the party. That's why I guess these Diddy party was too legendary. That's what they be saying and shit. Damn, that's crazy. I ain't gonna front. That was not a heated moment. Once again, that was a zesty moment. That shit's crazy. I ain't gonna front.
But instead of easing him into the conversation, Noor went straight for the heavy stuff.
Somebody help.
Getting out the hospital.
Shirt no.
Huh?
Eh?
Shirt no.
Right off the bat, Noor started digging into Lamar's lowest points. You could see it on Lamar's face. He was trying to keep it together, but it was obvious he wasn't okay with rehashing his darkest moments. And yet, Noor kept pushing. He brought up Lamar's addiction struggles, his marriage, and even the fact that Lamar sold his championship rings. Like, come on, selling those rings had to be painful enough without having to relive it on camera. Lamar looked like he was on the verge of breaking down, and honestly, who could blame him?
Like a
It got to a point where it felt like Noor was practically tap dancing on Lamar's pain for the sake of entertainment. Sure, tough questions are part of the game, but there's a line, and Noor was way over it. At one point, Lamar tried to keep things cool, but you could tell he was barely holding it together. And then Noor hit him with, "We love you here," as if that was supposed to magically fix everything. By then, the damage was already done.
Called me. Maybe I didn't know what I was signing up for.
No, you did. You called us.
Know what I'm saying?
The whole thing was hard to
That's
watch.
crazy.
Like a car crash you just couldn't look away from.
That's
it was
crazy.
Brutal, raw, and incredibly
I don't think he
uncomfortable.
meant. I don't
Even
know how he
viewers
meant that
torn
shit, but that
between
shit sounds
empathy for
crazy.
Lamar and frustration at how it all played out. At the end of the day, though, Lamar's segment wasn't just about the drama. It was a harsh reminder of how easy it is to exploit someone's vulnerability for entertainment. But believe it or not, that wasn't the only bizarre and awkward exit in Drink Champs history. Next up is Benzino, and let me tell you, from the second he walked in, you could tell he was ready to turn all the way up. He came through with big
That's
energy,
a crazy interview.
throwing back drinks like it was his last day on Earth. But things went off the rails fast. One moment he's vibing, and the next he's diving headfirst into that old beef with Eminem. Now, most people left that drama back in the early 2000s, but not Benzino. Nah, for him it's like that beef happened yesterday.
Huh? Eminem. Everybody down with Eminem. And my thing is this, bro. It's over hip hop. Like hip hop is who we are. He can't come in and invade hip hop in Rosenberg and make sure you.
This man had grudges. Ain't no doubt about that. He starts ripping into Eminem, calling him out for failing the black community. Now that's a bold take, and you could feel the air in the room shift. Everyone was holding their breath, trying not to escalate the situation. Nor and EFN were doing their best to keep things light, but Benzino was on his own planet, fully locked into this rant. He wasn't just taking shots at M either. This dude was scattering shade all over the place like a spray gun of grievances. Paul Pierce, R. Kelly. You'd think he had a whole list of names ready to go. Then he starts talking about street fights and shootings, throwing in cryptic little threats that made the vibe even more uncomfortable. By this point, you couldn't look away.
No, it was
like watching someone open Pandora's box of unresolved anger. The QuickTime game? Oh, that was a mess too. They asked him to pick between MGK and Eminem, and you could feel the tension spike. The room was so tense it felt like everyone was walking on eggshells, just trying to keep the peace and not set him off again.
Yeah, cause I but ain't nobody in my in Boston. Death is a kill.
But towards the end, Benzino started slowing down and even started crying. He got a little introspective, almost tired of the whole thing. You could see it in his face. This was a guy carrying the weight of years of drama. By the time it wrapped up, he wasn't the loud, angry guy anymore. He just seemed done.
Hey, yo, it was a comment that I seen, and he was like, he experienced, I don't know, all phases of being drunk,
but I care about
he
us
was
more.
like having fun,
I
pissed off,
I don't want to talk
sad.
about it no more. I don't want. For
I don't
22
know
years,
one,
every
but
time I
that
do
shit
an
was
interview,
crazy.
they
He
ask me
experienced
about
all
Eminem.
phases
I
of
came
being
into
drunk.
the
That shit was
industry
crazy.
figuring that, hey, I gotta be cool with Eminem because everybody's against my dad. You think this is cool? Nah, man.
After all that chaos, you almost felt for him. He'd peeled back all his layers and left everything on the table for everyone to see. But if you thought that was wild, wait till we get to Kodak Black's appearance in 2023. Now, Kodak's no stranger to the spotlight. He's had his share of controversial moments. But this episode of Drink Champs, it left everyone with more questions than answers. From the jump, something felt off. Kodak seemed restless, distracted, and at times barely coherent. What was supposed to be a chill conversation quickly turned into a chaotic ramble fest that had everyone, including Nor and EFN, trying to figure out what was going on. Things got weird almost immediately. Nor asked him about his Haitian roots, and instead of giving a clear answer, Kodak started mumbling about his soul and diving into these existential thoughts.
You plan on ever going?
When I die, I hope my soul go there.
I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. That was him. I wasn't ready.
His responses were all over the place, disjointed like he wasn't fully present in the room. You could see Nor and EFN trying to keep things light, but Kodak kept drifting further into random tangents. When they tried to play the QuickTime game, it got even more bizarre. Kodak started rambling about topics that had nothing to do with the questions. It was like he was having a conversation with himself while the rest of the room just sat there trying to process it.
Bro, man, ain't no, my people ain't gonna care nothing about that. You can't try to, my people ain't good. What? We already know.
By this point, Nor and EFN looked genuinely concerned but stayed professional, letting him speak his mind. Kodak went on a rant about people trying to turn others against him, mixing his words in a way that barely made sense. The crew let him roll with it, but you could feel the tension rising in the room. EFN eventually stepped in, urging Kodak to take care of himself, and that moment stuck with viewers long after the interview ended. As soon as the episode aired, the reactions poured in. Joe Budden and Ray J took to social media, urging someone to check in on Kodak. What everyone saw wasn't just the usual Drink Champs chaos. It was a guy who seemed to be struggling. Kodak's behavior was erratic enough to raise some serious red flags, even in a setting known for wild moments.
That was crazy, I ain't gonna front. Damn. Oh, that shit was crazy. I never seen the Kodak Black one, but shit. He was just rambling, saying words. I mean, that's how he went. You know what I'm saying? I seen some clips of it. So I don't know how that was heated, though. I don't get how that last one was heated. He was just like, damn, like, that dude needs some help. Like, for real, damn, that's fucked up. All I'm gonna tell you, Joe, show me some love. I appreciate the people watching.